Let's get into the video. Let's start with this first visual icon, which is the report icon, but let's consider this as a visual. Then this is where all the visuals that we would look at it as a end result. Then let's look at the second one, which shows data. Let's consider this as a table. This is where you have a possibility to see all the tables and then the fields, informations, records that is available for this report. Then the third one is precisely the model, but let's consider this is the relationship between the tables in case if you wanted to establish anything, you have a possibility to do that. These three icons, these three icons are very important as you will always navigate it, between these three icons. Let's look at the top portion. As you see in the home, which basically you see the section, which is the data section. You have a possibility to include any kind of a databases by going into the get data. Then if you wanted to cluster and see, then you have a possibility when you click the more option, it shows different types of the data. Then you can easily connect those informations. Let's take here the databases, all the databases that are available here, you have a possibility to connect. Then there is a Power Platform which provides you to connect the existing data sets and some other functionalities. Let's have a look those later step by step. Azure, where you have all the clouds, Azure connectivity, which is possible. It works also through the organizational IDs and works through various kind of authentications. Then you have online services, which for example, you have a SharePoint online list. Then you can directly connect the list through here, get the data. You have a lot of opportunities to do the report automations and etc. Then you have some other connectivity which is possible directly through the web, and there are several options that are available. So basically this is a section where you get the data. Then as you see here, the second section of this is the queries. The queries you will be able to see where the transform data, basically when you have a table which is imported, then you have a probability to see, set up how the field settings and things were there. You can add several types of additional informations towards the data, and you can convert the formats, etc, etc. Then you have a data source settings, which also takes you to the locations. If you have where the database, what are the settings that are available connecting to your data sources. Then you have the insert option. Of course you have an opportunity to do new visuals and text boxes and etc. We will also look at it when we go into the insert tab. Then you have a calculation. This is interesting. When you have a table, you have a possibility like how we calculate it. There is a possibility you can calculate the fields and then get the results. Then this helps you to publish to the services which is in the website. Then let's come back to the insert. Insert, as we touched a little bit ago, the new page, if you wanted to add or duplicate the current page, then basically this helps. You can also add a page here. You can also do the right click and then do the duplicate pages. You have several functionalities like in the same page. You can also hide, and we can talk about it later. When you hide, what happens when you publish. Then you have new visuals, and if you want it for more visuals, you have a possibility to import from app source. The visual section is also available here. So you can also insert a new visuals directly from this place. In case if you wanted to get access to the more visuals, you have these three dots. When you click, you have a possibility to get the more visuals from the app source. Then in the app source, you can choose the relevant area. Then you get the visuals and you can click the add button in order to get import into your report. Then you have AI visuals, which basically we're going to look at the end a little bit, but also we will have more in the detailed session. It helps you to do some pre-analysis on those. So you can always get suggestions from the system. Then you have excellent options where you have a possibility to import or integrate the Power Apps into the Power BI. Then you have this element sections which can help you to add the text box and buttons, shapes and images. So shapes are pretty much about the shapes what you include in the Word or PowerPoint, but the buttons we will have to talk more later, which is connecting to some actions. Then the image, as usual, you have a possibility to import images and then you can set as a background or some particular views and etc. So we can look later. Then the next one is the modeling. The modeling is pretty much about having a relationship as we touched. We also enable the relationship between the visuals, how the filter should work and etc. We can just look at this more and more. Then you have a calculation section as we touched earlier, the new measure exactly, as well as you have a possibility for any databases you include into the Power BI, you have a possibility to include a new column with the formula. Similarly, you have a possibility to include your new table. Let's go through everything later. Then this is what a function, same like you have a parameters in Excel. So you can have, when we talk about the parameters, we can just discuss more about it. But right now, just uh, keep informing you that there is an opportunity. Then here you have a security purpose. This is where exactly you set up how the view should be and where the row level security, then you can define the roles and who should basically to work on it. So those kind of things can be easily defined over here. Then you have a couple of these Q&A setups that we'll also look at it later. Then let's come back to the view section immediately from the menu. So the first section basically help you to find the themes, any themes that you wish. You have some options and you still have the themes that you could browse and do it. Next is the scale to fit, which is also very important when you publish the report. You can decide how this particular report should behave. Precisely, if you want to fit into the same page into this front as a fit, then you can use this where it fits the height and width within the screen. Then when you have to fit only fit to width, but if you wanted to extend length down, like when you have when you publish the news or when you look at the Facebook, so you have a lot of things were published down and down and down, so you can just continue in the same way. Then you can also follow up the exact actual size as 100%. Then the next section is you can set up the mobile layout how you exactly want it. So the report, what you look at it here, when you look at it in mobile, it could be different. So you can set up exactly how it is. Then there is a standard page option format, grid lines, lock objects, snaps. So let's look that later, detail. Then you have the show pan squares, which is also very important. Let's talk about the filter now. The filter section is basically helping you any visuals that you have, you wanted to apply a certain filter based on the fields. So if you wanted to apply a filter for a specific visual, you can apply that. When you add a visual, it comes here. But if you add any filter in this page section, filters on this page, then whatever the filter that you apply here, that apply for all the visuals that are available in this page. Similarly, if you add any visuals that should contain the filter, sorry, not the visual, any filter with the field, then that's applicable for the entire pages, all over the pages in this report. That's exactly the filter helps. Bookmark is another interesting which we need to use it, where you can see if you wanted to see exactly the page like this, then you can simply add a bookmark and then it shows how the screen look like always you have a possibility to come back by calling the same bookmark name. If you add some visual, then if you bookmark this one, then you can add another bookmark, then you will be able to get back exactly the same. And then the selection, which is also important when you're working with more visuals, you have a possibility to group and you need to layer order. We need to set the layer order. So all these things, if you wanted to hide something and those kind of options can be done through the selection section. I just wanted to cover only the basic information now, and then the rest we will learn as we go. And precisely before we close today, let's see here how basically it builds. What I did now, I just simply, instead of importing any data, I just created my own. By clicking here, enter data, I have added, we will do it in the next session how to do it, but just wanted to show you. I just created a table which contains simply the employee information, employee, days worked, and salary. You know what happened now? When I double click the empty first startup page, automatically Power BI will understand what is the table I have, and you can see it is asking me to put up a question what I want. Since I have employee, salary, and days, automatically it is identifying what do you want it. Do you want a maximum salary? Do you want an average salary? Minimum days worked, average day worked. What is the average salary? When I click what is the average salary, it just give me exactly the average salary of the information which is available in the table. Yes. So that's how you have a possibility to use all the options. But let's start with the basic understanding, and then I will continue to post the videos continuously, in near future. I hope you enjoy my video. Thank you for watching my video. Have a good day.